The Turning Point USA chapter at the University of Arkansas announcing it is rebranding and disaffiliating with the national group. The chapter's president said in a statement posted on social media, the executive board had become concerned with the direction of the national group. It says the chapter will now be rebranding to Young American Revival, focusing on advocating for Christian conservative values. Comes a week after Turning Point's CEO, Kirk, paid a visit to Arkansas. Governor Sanders signed a proclamation endorsing TPUSA chapters in schools statewide.
So this is fantastic news. It's great news. But beyond that, you should know that this was a unanimous decision. Everyone on the board agreed that they wanted to move away from Turning Point USA. Dino, he's not just a person that just signed up and is causing drama. He's been there for 5 years. And incredibly, he would very much know, and I'm going to guess it's going to be him understanding how Charlie was pulling away on the topic of Israel, because Dino Fontegrassi in July was a part of that sit down that Charlie did where he discussed Israel and Gaza. He sort of just set it up with a bunch of students and tried to get their opinion to show donors, like, you can't treat these kids like this. It's the direction, the direction of wind, it's just changing.
How many of you guys think when a lawmaker, and a man I respect like Ted Cruz, uses the Bible to justify aid to Israel, doesn't even know the verse, do you guys think that's like not the best way to approach this? Raise your hand.
I find prophecy as policy generally to be theologically problematic. I mean, there's plenty of things that the Bible says that have been done throughout parts of history that certainly a nation state doing today we would see as a bit of a problem. When it comes to sending these, what, you said $300 billion?
19, yeah, just with the inflation, yeah.
To any foreign country, all I can think about is across our own southern border, we have an actual military in the form of the cartel that kill thousands of people, and that's leaving out the hundreds of thousands of Americans that have died to drug overdoses due to drugs that have come across our southern border. And it's insulting that that money goes anywhere else because we have such a huge problem here.
And so they know how Charlie felt. Actually, he was also on the Charlie Kirk show. I believe he was on it actually after Charlie Kirk was assassinated. So when he is coming forward and he is saying something is not right, they are pretending Charlie would want stuff that I know that Charlie would not want. People need to listen.
So the other day I found out that the CIA is preparing some kind of criminal referral against me, a crime report, to the Department of Justice on the basis of a supposed crime I committed. What's that crime? Well, talking to people in Iran before the war. They read my texts. So the crime under consideration apparently would be the Foreign Agent Act or something like that, acting as an agent of a foreign power. And I don't expect this to go anywhere. I'm not too worried about an actual criminal case against me for a bunch of reasons. One, I'm not an agent of a foreign power. Unlike a lot of people commenting on U.S. politics and global affairs, I have only one loyalty, and that's the United States, and have never acted against it. There are also people with agendas and grudges and no sense of restraint who are happy to misuse the power they have granted them by our elaborate secrecy laws to hurt fellow Americans for ideological reasons. That is entirely real. That's the story of Russiagate. And it's likely that things like that will begin to happen at greater scale now. So you should just know that going forward.
Like I said, they have lost, so now they want people just thrown into the gulags. I mean, don't forget, Bill Ackman, who's supposed to be a billionaire on his own merit, which Tucker contends, but he was retweeting when I said people should conscientiously object to this war, because they should. Of course you should conscientiously object to this war. You should find a legal means to exit. Why would you die for Bibi Netanyahu? That's senseless. And he starts retweeting people. In people who have their profiles in Hebrew, no less, being like, there's actually a federal statute or this law A says that if you say this, then you can go to federal prison. Lock her up. Okay. If they don't die for Israel, lock every American up. Okay. Here's Randy Fine. He tweeted this. It sounds like Tucker Carlson is learning the hard way. And I will bless those who bless you, and the one who curses you, I will curse. That is the truest interpretation for them of this verse. Listen up, Christians. You will die for Israel. You will die for Israel. You will support Israel, or we will ruin you. Okay, you will send your sons and your daughters to die. You will literally kill off your families, or we will ruin you. We will destroy you. We'll put you into prison. America is totally compromised by foreign actors if Tucker Carlson gets arrested before anybody on the Epstein list. Yeah, well, that sounds absurd, but that is probably a likely conclusion, honestly, is that it is more likely Tucker Carlson will be arrested than anybody on the Epstein list because this is Epstein's revenge, right? This is the class that protected Epstein, protected people who were harming kids, lied to us, gaslit us. This is like their final gasp. I actually had to calm down after learning this because it's Kanye tweets, I love the way Candace Owens thinks. Then we learn from Erica that her and her mother go to Israel on pilgrimage or in Jerusalem, and they see Charlie at the airport. On August 10th, Erica is then, just saw him in May, but then she's going to see him again at Turning Point USA's office opening. She gets invited by Tyler. She doesn't know how she knows, but he introduces her very quickly to Charlie. I am there. Then comes September, where once again it is arranged by Tyler Boyer for Erica to meet Charlie, this time one-on-one for a job. And there begins their relationship, you could say. I want to point to October 30th. When I told you that suddenly people were trying to pull me and Kanye and Charlie apart, you just felt it, okay? He writes, I introduced Candace to the person who made the logo and they didn't want their name on it, so she used mine. I never wanted any association with Blexit. I have nothing to do with it. He then follows that up by saying, my eyes are now wide open and now realize that I have been used to spread messages that I don't believe in. I am distancing myself from politics and completely focusing on being creative. This was one of the hardest things for me to go through. I mean, I love Ye, love him now, but like it was just, it was untrue and it allowed people to then, every single article, Candace lied, and I actually have a photo of me and Kanye in the Trump Hotel in Chicago. And I didn't know what was happening. And I, at the time called a friend and they were like, you don't know what he's going through and what sort of pressure he's going through. And Charlie and me were just devastated. Why am I telling you this? I get reached out to by a young woman in New York. And she says to me that at this time, she said, Erica knew Kanye. And I said, Erica didn't know Kanye. What are you talking about? Erica never knew Kanye. And then she says, no, I have like actual proof that when all that stuff was going down with you and Kanye and Charlie, that Erica was backdialing and telling people that she knew the people that were around Kanye, that she had family that was around Kanye and pushed for that tweet to go out. So I said, can you get me some proof of that? And this young woman in New York got me the proof of that, proof that at the very least, Erica was making that claim. I will find out who in Kanye's circle knew Erica when that tweet went out. I will find out. I will call Ye and I will find out. I will figure out how duplicitous this woman is.